Hey everybody, Mike Fifer, Fifer Hobby Supply. Today we're going to do an impromptu video 73. I have a lot of things done, but I've been working my hiney off and I'm sweating to death. So this is the way we're going to do this one. And let me get on with it and show you what I've been up to. Okay guys, here's the progress on the auction house. You can see that I have cowboys, horses, cows, lighting. You can see that we have folks inside and a cowboy standing outside. So let me show you what the lighting, I'm working on the roof, but let me show you what the lighting looks like. And here's what the lighting looks like. And you can see all the people sitting down there. The auctioneer and a friend are up there on the stand. Cattle waiting to go. And a cowboy trying to mess with a horse out here in this one pen. Little unruly. And that cowboy right there with his cowboy hat. A woman sitting outside on the steps. A guy that's falling over. Standing outside on the corner. I'm going to have to fix him. I didn't realize that he was leaning. And as you saw, another cowboy and the people inside. Okay, I guess the first thing I'm going to show you is I got all the track ballasted. You guys seen this part of it. I told you I had it all working. I do. And then I came over here and I told you I had that part working. Now I have all of this working back there, and I ballasted all the unitrack, and the reverse loop works. All these, the Cato unitrack here works all the way back to the main line. So we have that accomplished. Now, what I have been doing, and it doesn't seem like much today, but I've been arranging buildings, and I think this is the way I'm going to want the chemical plant. And I have the wire down through the foam for the lighting. And I don't know whether the structures will all go identical to that, or I'll pull them down this way. I think I'm going to pull them down this way. But nevertheless, this will be the chemical plant, and that's exactly how it will go. There will be a ramp track over here on the other side, or a ramp on the other side. The water tower, I'm not exactly sure exactly where it's going to go. We have Robin's Feeds is back there. And next to it is the silos where they have incoming feed and then they bag their own feed. And here we have some Sierra Madre packing. Across the street we have Schmelly Meats. And it's most likely going to go exactly there. We have the box factory next to it. We have a little building here, which I don't know what it is. It's kind of indescript. Don't know whether it's going there. But as you can see, we have a lot of open space, okay? I got all the ballast on these tracks. I don't know whether I showed you that. I have the silo that Gavin constructed, and I have the lighting wire down through the layout for that. I have, as you saw, the junkyard in place kind of over there, more or less where it will be. We had thought about putting the trailer park over in there, and I think that might be a good spot. The bar will go over here somewhere, not exactly sure where, but it's definitely destined for this area over here. I have all this track around the corner ballasted, with the exception of this corner you see, wherever it is. This corner you see right here, I got to fill this in, and then I'll go ahead and finish ballasting. I'm out of ballast, by the way. I think I might have told you I didn't ballast these two tracks down because I'm building that engine house that goes there. These buildings are just railroad related, and I thought I'd just set them there until I figure out what I'm doing. The beer distributor is the flat roof building there. We could put some kind of signage on top of that. I don't remember what this building here is. I think it's a cable and wire company. But it's kind of, it's off kilter because I have the base plate on it is plaster, and I have the pieces that are broken off right there. When I pulled it off the other board, the plaster broke, but I have those pieces to put back in there, and then I'll get it raised up to the correct height and leveled out. Of course, the icing platform goes here. The Woods Furniture Company goes back there, and of course, Reliable Warehouse goes here. Gavin is supposed to be making me some more of those Texaco tanks. I don't know if that's going to happen. He's very busy, and I'll fill you in a minute. I decided to use this little bitty station down here. And that's an oil rig, collapsed oil rig back there. And I'm not exactly sure what I'm going to do with that. I may build it back into an oil rig or something. The oil facility, you know where that goes. We put the siding in for that. All of this track is ballasted all the way around underneath the bridges and all the way to the track in the back. I have a little kind of a dwarf signal. We have some out at the club. They're just a green and red signal. I'm going to attach it to that switch in the back there. And the indicators on it will be red and green standing up. The red is on the top, the green is on the bottom. And if the red is lit, it will be the outside track coming around and underneath the bridge. If it's the green light, it will be the inside track coming around. And that's the way I'll wire it up, so that we'll be able to tell from out here which one of those tracks that switch is thrown to. Not a big deal. I do not have the bridge back. We still have the tornado going on here, but I do have all my tools picked up for the most part. Haven't figured out what to do with all my super glue yet, but I got to put away my super glue for now. I have a car sitting there that doesn't belong there. I'm thinking of putting this Woodland Scenic Station on my T-Track module. I've got to start working on that. We have a doll show that we're going to take T-Track modules to. One thing I was going to tell you before I come on down this way, let me come back here, whip you back real fast. Does that hurt your neck if I do that? All these switches move, but they have glue in them, and I haven't cleaned them out yet. I brought out some 800 sandpaper that I'm going to use, that I use in there. Some of them are working, some of them are cleaned out, some of them are not. I think I probably have a little bit of ballast clinging to the inside of some of the rails. That all has to be cleaned up yet, but I wanted to get these buildings kind of just laying out here. I can move them as I go and put them back, but I wanted you guys to kind of, well, you guys have already seen it once, but kind of roughly see where these buildings are going to go. So we'll just kind of pan around. But I just wanted to let you know that I still have some cleaning up to do on some of these switches. The track itself is all clean, and the track all runs, but it does not make it through some of the turnouts because I do not have the turnout faces clean. Okay, let's go down the other end. Okay, I don't know what the last thing is we talked about down here. But everything's kind of sitting back where it sort of goes. Got a couple of cabooses on the caboose track back there. Kind of weeded out my yard. Took all the 50-foot box cars out. I still have some cars that really don't belong out there. But tried to clean up the yard a little bit because that is likely something I'm going to have to work on in the near future, if not the distant future. Everything here is pretty much like it was. Just a lot of it's just sitting there for right now still. But I just wanted you guys to see this thing finally. This is obviously the auction house. I'm going to try and get some close-up pictures of some things here because there's some things on here that I'm very proud of. By the way, this masterful kit only took me a month and a half to build, so it was a project. But I gotta say, the parts for the most part fit good. It's just they were so very fragile. Okay, one thing we're gonna try and get in on is this cowboy on the horse right here. And you can see it is a cowboy. That was made out of an English riding horse and a cowgirl, or an English riding horse girl. First thing I do is shave the chest off the girls to make a cowboy. Then I cut the top of the head off. Then I take and stick a piece of Post-it down to a piece of glass, and I cut the brim of the hat out in a circle using a brand new X-Acto blade. I glue that to the top of the head. Then I take a toothpick, round toothpick. I pick a diameter on the toothpick that I like. I cut a section or a piece, a round piece, however tall I need it to be or long I need it to be. Cut it until I get one I like, and then I glue that on top of the brim that I have made for the hat. Now, one thing you can see also in this, and I'll take the roof off in a minute, you can see the bleachers back in there, and you can see all the people sitting in the bleachers. But we're going to show you the inside a little closer in a bit here. We have a woman sitting on the porch. We have a guy standing outside, probably taking a smoke break. And let me move this corral out of the way. And let me see if I can get in on this cowboy. In fact, let me take this roof off. Okay, now you can see the people in the bleachers. If you look straight down, there's a cow in the pen there. There's a guy standing there waiting to let it out to be viewed for auction. I can't see what I'm doing here, but back in there, there's the auctioneer and his partner. There's cows in the stalls, the cowboy watching the exit. The rooms don't have anything in them, which they're never going to be seen probably. Probably most of the inside is not going to be seen. But there are cows in the pens and people in there. So here's a shot of it as it sits, and let me swing around. It's going to have to be raised up to, it's going to have to be raised up to track level, which means it'll be on cork, on HO cork, to get it up there. But I really like the way it turned out. It's kind of a cool focal point. And let me turn the lights off for you real quick. And this is what it looks like with the roof off and the lights on. Unfortunately, I spent a lot of time building this, put a bunch of people in there. I don't know how many people are in there, but there's a bunch of them in there. There will be cars and trucks and pickup trucks and all kinds of stuff sitting outside for the people who are there bidding and so forth. But of course, that will remain to be seen. And it's not as effective in the dark as it is with the top off, but it still looks cool. I'll show you. Okay, so here's what it looks like in the dark. This cattle pen here is going to require some reconfiguration. It won't be very hard. What I'm going to do is the furthest cattle loading opening that you see there, or letting cattle in, I got to cut that out and then swing that fence back this way just to make it fit in here in the area and have room to put stock trucks or trucks, I don't know, whatever I decide to put in there. But that's the way the auction house turned out, and I hope you enjoy that. And let me think what else I got going on. I believe the only other thing I got going on is these two wires hanging down, which are the control wires for the two turnouts, the one the locomotive's sitting on and the one back here to the left. And like I told you before, those will be operated by a DS52, which is sitting right there. I just don't have it wired in yet. The only other thing I can show you, hang on, I rearranged my shelf up here, and I got my daddy drag model up there on the shelf finally. It's been sitting down here. Poor thing's gotten beaten around and everything else. But anyway, nothing else much different on top of the layout, and it really looks like I haven't done much, but take my word for it, I've been a busy guy. Let me sit down here and tell you something else before I go. Okay, I think I told you guys in the last video that I have a car show coming up next weekend, and then I have one on the following weekend. And I've been busy wet sanding and buffing out some spots on the car that were bad from when I've had it painted 500 times. But I've got most of that out of the car. I have a little buffing to do yet on the car. Then I've got to clean the interior. Then I've got to clean under the hood. The next improvement that you'll see on Lisa, or as it will be soon named, Going Green, I bought some 4-point shoulder harnesses. And the 4-point shoulder harnesses that I bought, I'll show them to you when I get them and put them in Lisa. But anyways, I'll show them to you. But they attach to the existing seatbelt brackets and seatbelt latches in a few points. And you can, the beauty of them is you can use them as a 4-point harness, or you can use the regular seatbelt. So if you have a passenger that gets in and doesn't want to put on that contraption, they can just put on the regular seatbelt. But I don't want to hold you guys up. I've gotten this place straightened up. I have to put a few things back into the house, take some things back out to the garage. But for the most part, I've got the room cleaned up, and I'm ready to start on a new adventure of getting buildings put in over there. The next thing will be getting all the track work working, and probably making a template for a road, and getting the town area template made so that I can put tar paper down there and then put the town on top of it. Anyway, that's it for today. Okay, everybody, I hope you enjoyed video 72, and hope you check out the vintage page and find something you need. And as usual, thanks for watching.